The man's name was Coulter, and he was a lieutenant in the US Air Force. On this particular day, for some unknown reason, he woke up feeling as if his soul had been transported to a train. The woman sitting across from him was talking to him as if she knew him well, but he had no idea who she was. Then, another woman walked by and spilled coffee on his shoes. Looking around at the passengers in the train car, he had no clue what was happening, because he remembered being on a flight mission just yesterday. The woman, Chris, was talking to Coulter enthusiastically, but oddly, she kept calling him Sean. After a while, the train stopped at a station, and Coulter realized that it was headed towards downtown Chicago. However, he couldn't recall when he had returned to the country. When Coulter got back on the train, Chris was still very friendly to him, but then he noticed something strange. The reflection in the train window wasn't his own face. He hurried to the bathroom and discovered that the man in the mirror was someone else entirely. The ID in the wallet showed that this man's name was Sean. Coulter's mind was utterly confused. Chris seemed to notice Coulter's unusual behavior and came over to comfort him. Just then, a freight train carrying tankers full of oil passed by. Without warning, the train exploded violently, and the nearby tankers also detonated. When Coulter opened his eyes again, he found himself in a dark, confined cockpit. In front of him was a screen with a woman in a military uniform. Her name was Goodwin. Coulter, his mind in a state of chaos, asked Goodwin if he was participating in some kind of military simulation test. He wanted to call his father and tell him that he had returned to the country, but Goodwin ignored his request and kept asking him who had blown up the train. Coulter had no idea who did it. Goodwin told him to go back again, just like last time, and that he would have 8 minutes to investigate who the perpetrator was. She suggested that he first find the bomb and how it was detonated. After a flash of light, Coulter found himself back on the train, with Chris still talking to him across from him. However, Coulter noticed that what Chris was saying this time was not exactly the same as before. Then, just like before, a woman spilled coffee on his shoes, but this time, Chris took out a tissue and helped him wipe his shoes clean. After setting an 8-minute countdown on his watch, Coulter began observing the passengers in the train car. He noticed that the fat man next to him seemed to be in a hurry about something. Coulter found this man very suspicious and confronted him, only to find out that he was just a stand-up comedian, rushing to get to a performance. Soon, the train arrived at the middle station again, and passengers got off. Coulter remembered that the explosion had come from behind him, so he went to the bathroom in the rear car and started searching. Finally, he found the bomb in the duct above. There was a cell phone attached to the bomb, indicating that the perpetrator had detonated it by making a phone call. However, Coulter didn't know how to disarm the bomb. He had no choice but to take out his wallet and pretend to be a security officer, telling the passengers to turn off all electronic devices in an attempt to prevent the perpetrator from detonating the bomb.